Hey, LaQuanya Shante here. I believe I am live on YouTube. If you are on Zoom, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the chat. But I am going to start going live on YouTube more often just because I feel that the information that I have and that I am learning can benefit those that have been wanting to get into the Forex trading space. Now, if you are new to me, my name is LaQuanya Shante. I am a unapologetic introvert. I am a former network marketer and business coach. And I feel like I need to preference the conversation with that because many people who start their journey as a Forex trader, they were introduced through the network marketing industry. Now, unlike most people, I am an advocate for the network marketing industry, although I no longer participate in that space. The reason why I am an advocate of that industry is because that industry absolutely changed my life. I know that most people fail who get into network marketing businesses and things like that. However, that was not my story. Although there were many failures throughout my journey, I actually, in 2016, was able to create a large organization and I earned my very first six figures online in 2016. Now, I felt that it was necessary to say that because when I got started in network marketing, I was one of those people that was selling pills and potions and lotions. I was involved in health and wellness. I was a part of a network marketing company that sold supplements. So once I became successful in that industry, and I'm just giving you guys a little backstory before we hop into the charts. When I got involved in that industry, I was not mentally equipped for success like most people. And so when I heard people saying that you needed to have 7 streams of income and you needed to diversify your income, when I started to make money and I started to create more income than I ever had in my life, earning, $20,000+ a month in commissions, I did not have the mindset that was necessary to build wealth or to sustain success. So needless to say, I blew through that income very, very quickly. However, I did get introduced to the industry of Forex. And because my uplines and my so-called mentors at the time was drilling the fact that you needed multiple streams of income, when I got introduced to Forex, I was excited because I thought, okay, this is a way that I can take the commissions that I'm earning from this network marketing company and diversify my income. So the company that I got introduced to Forex through was also a network marketing company. So when I started to learn about Forex and just started to get my feet wet with what it was and learning about investing and the cash flow quadrant and all of the things that they teach you or that they expose you to in order to recruit you, I got excited. So I got enrolled with a company that many of you probably are familiar with, or probably was your route that you got introduced to Forex to as well. And I quickly realized that the skill was real. However, the learning platform or the educational environment that skill was introduced was not something that I wanted to be a part of. Not only that, when the leaders in the other company that I was involved in, which was a health and wellness company, which was not a conflict of interest, when they found out that I was doing something else, which I wasn't cross recruiting. I wasn't trying to bring my team over. I wasn't doing anything. All I wanted to do was learn the skill. They shut my back office down. So at that point, I really had no choice but to try to learn this skill. So here I am, not having a whole lot of capital because, as I said before, I was spending my money as I was making it. If I was earning $5,000 a week, I was spending $5,000 a week. I was not a good steward of my money because it came so quickly and it came so rapidly. So when my back office got shut down in that health and wellness company, I decided that I wanted to go all in with Forex. Needless to say, I did not have the capital that is necessary in order to grow wealth through the foreign exchange industry. So I was blowing accounts. I was putting in $100 here. I was putting $500 there. I was putting $700 here. And because I didn't have the skill, not only did I not have the skill, I did not have the mindset of proper risk management. So needless to say, I lost tons and tons of money. I lost thousands and thousands of dollars. However, in spite of me losing all of that money, I still was excited about mastering that skill. The fire that was in me when I was first introduced to Forex, that never left. However, because I didn't have the money to continue to fund my account, I had to go back to what I knew, which was network marketing. So I went on several years doing health and wellness businesses because that was the niche that I was in, and that is where I did very well. I, just continued a couple of years more doing these health and wellness businesses, building teams, and just really depleting myself because I'm an introvert, as I said at the beginning, and it just didn't mesh well with my personality. I knew that trading is what I wanted to do, but I could not afford to continue to blow my account and keep buying courses and keep spending a monthly auto ship in a place where I wasn't getting the education that I needed because the focus was so much on actually recruiting, which is the reason why I'm so passionate about helping people acquire this skill in an environment where recruiting is not even a factor. And so that was 2017 when I really jumped into trading. I was introduced in 2016. In 2017, the top of the year, January of 2017, is when I really decided that I wanted to learn trading. By the end of 2017, I was tapped out, I was maxed out. And so, I traded a little bit. I would be profitable. I would, get greedy and lose those profits. So this has been a hamster wheel that I was on for, I would say, about the last 5 years. And so in 2021, at the end of 2021, I decided that I was going to relinquish my positions in the network marketing company that I was in, and I was going to go all in with trading. And so 2022, January, I was ready. I was like, okay, this is the year that I'm going to go all in with trading. And that is absolutely what I've done. It was the hardest yet the most rewarding decision that I made. The reason being is because I've been able to fall back from social media. One thing about it, when I was running my network marketing businesses and my coaching businesses and my marketing agency, all of those things required for me to show up on social media, for me to be present on social media, whether I felt like it or not. It was something that I felt was required in order for me to get sales, which was mentally exhausting, especially as an introvert. I didn't want to do reels. I didn't want to do TikToks. I didn't want to do all the things that were required to be an influencer. I had to just make a decision that I don't want to be an influencer and be okay with that. And so, of course, making that decision, it led me back to Forex. What is something that I can do that doesn't require any customers, doesn't require anybody else to determine how much that I'm getting paid? And so one thing I will say about trading, when you are deciding to start your trading journey, you're going to have to rip off all the layers. There's no pity party or no excuses when you decide to be a trader, because there's nobody that you can blame for your lack of success except for you, which also means that nobody can take credit for your success but you. So you have to have some intestinal fortitude. You have to have some type of grit and some type of desire and a why that is bigger than your excuses in order for you to be successful in this industry. And so one thing about me is I had already participated in an industry where 90% of the people that got started failed. 90% of the people who got started in network marketing did not make any money. And so me transitioning over to Forex and deciding to go all in and make this my primary or my main source of income, I was already prepared for that part, because 90% of the people that get started with Forex or decide that they want to trade, they're not going to make any money. However, those statistics can change if people would come into Forex with the right mindset, if they would come in with the right expectations. But the reason why they don't come in with the right expectations is because of the portrayal of success, or how success looks on Instagram. You see people with Lamborghinis, and you see people with mansions, and you see people doing all of these things that you are using as a measurement tool of success, when in reality, trading does not look like that. Trading does not look like the highlight reel that you see on social media. Trading is very hard. It is something that is going to require you to focus and have discipline. And most people fail at Forex, not because it's impossible to learn, or not because the markets are against you, but because people are not really ready to do a self-reflection and to look at themselves as they really are and make a decision to change their mindset. Because trading, I will say, is 80% psychology and mental, and 20% skill. You can learn how to master these charts. You can learn support and resistance and Fibonacci's and all of those things. But if you have those things without the proper mindset, if you have those things with greed, if you have those things with, just the unrealistic idea that you're going to be successful quickly, that is why people fail. And so I just wanted to preface the conversation with that. It was just on my heart to start out with that. But I want to hop into the charts because I know my students, they've heard my story several times and they want to hop into our session today. But I'm going to start getting on YouTube and just making myself known behind the scenes, because I do feel like I do have a lot to offer, even though I consider myself an intermediate trader. I'm still thinking of myself as a beginner. I am coming to this space as an open book, because your success in past things is not transferable to trading. Just because you're successful in real estate doesn't mean you'll be successful in trading if your mindset is not correct. Just because you're an attorney, it doesn't mean that you're going to be successful in trading if your mindset is not correct. So I'm going to really base my training and my mentorship that I'm doing more on helping people shift their mind to have a wealth mindset, to know what it takes to actually be an investor and how to set a realistic expectation when it comes to your gains in the market. If you are expecting to grow your account over 100%, if you want a 100% return on investment, although that is possible, you're coming into this with the wrong expectation. You want to come into this as an investor. You want to come into this with a mindset that you want to compound your account, and you want to really get to a point where you know how to trade just enough to be able to get a funded account with a prop firm. And a prop firm is just a company that will allow you to leverage their capital and use your trading skills to create a partnership where they pay you to trade their capital. So you can, trade their capital, you get 80%, they get the rest. And as long as you are practicing proper risk management, you can grow that capital and then eventually fund your own account and trade for their firm as well as trade for yourself. And that's the process or the journey that I'm currently on right now, is just making sure that I'm in the right space mentally so that I can get funded, because I can tell you that 90% of the people, they fail in Forex because they don't have the right mindset, and then they don't have enough capital. Trying to grow $100 account or a $200 account, that is possible, but mentally, especially if you're in a situation where that is, not your last, because you should never be investing your last into the markets. But if you're on a tight budget, then for one, your psychology is already going to be trading out of desperation. And two, it's just not going to be enough profit using the minimal micro lot size in order for you to feel like it's worth your while, especially if you are looking at people on social media that's posting screenshots of these astronomical trade results. And most of the time that's in a demo account, which I'm not going to bash people that trade in demo, because demo trading is helpful. However, demo trading does nothing for your psychology, because there's really no comparison to trading on a live account than trading in a demo account that is simulated, and you know that if you lose that money on that account, it doesn't affect your bottom line. So I'm a person that will tell you, hey, start out $100 account if that's all that you can do right now, and just use a micro lot size, because that's going to mentally prepare you better than trading on a $10,000 demo account that has absolutely no emotions attached to it. So now that we got that out of the way, I want to hop into the charts. It has been a roller coaster of a week because there was some news that was actually released. And so some people have been experiencing some losses this week just because they are beginners and they are not equipped to the markets, which is okay, because what I teach my students is that there's no such things as losses, that you either win your trades or you learn from your trades. And in Forex, we just so happen to pay for our lessons, which I always tell my husband, because he's in the beginning, he was asking me like, how many courses are you going to buy? Like, how much do you think that you've spent on trying to learn Forex? And I told him, I said, well, I think of it like somebody going and spending thousands and thousands of dollars to get a degree in a field that does not have a guarantee or a promise of them being able to employment after they go and spend thousands of dollars on college. And so I would rather, so for a fact, is going to allow me to have the possibility of earning unlimited uncapped, unrestricted amounts of income. So I'm willing to risk it all. I'm willing to invest whatever I need to invest. If it takes me 5 years, if it takes me 10 years, regardless, I feel like that is more conducive to my income and to my legacy, a skill that I can pass down to my children, versus me going to college for 4 years, investing into an education that does not guarantee me success and does not guarantee that I'm going to get a return on my investment. At least with Forex, I can lose thousands of dollars in the market. I can spend thousands of dollars on mentorship. At least I know without a shadow of a doubt, if I do not give up, if I do not quit, that I'm going to get a return on my investment. And I'm expecting a 10x return on my investment. And so I'm willing to go through the dark times in investing, because anytime you invest, there's a possibility that you're going to lose, just as much of a possibility that there is that you're going to gain. And that's why it's important for you to learn the skill, learn what to look for in the markets, get educated, get around people that are in this same industry that can teach you and that can empower you and that can uplift you, instead of listening to people that are saying, oh, that's a scam, or, oh, my friend tried to do that and she lost money. Anything that you do outside of working a job has a risk of you losing money. I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade, and I've tried so many business ventures throughout my time of being an entrepreneur. I have not punched a clock for anybody in over 10 years. And so the time freedom that I've been able to experience is 100% worth the risk that I take when I invest money into ventures that I do not know 100% if they are going to yield a return, or if they're going to be successful. So if you're not a risk taker, if you're not somebody that's willing to bet on yourself, then Forex is not going to be something that you want to take part in, because it's going to require some sleepless nights of learning the charts. Like, you're not going to be able to buy just one course and everything, all lights are going to be green and everything is just going to click. You're going to have to do your own due diligence. You're going to have to get into some communities and get some courses and things like that in order for this to finally click and for you to finally be profitable. But most importantly, you're going to have to dissect yourself to figure out who you really are, because who you are is who shows up in the charts. On social media, they have this thing, you can fake it till you make it. In Forex, there's no faking it till you make it. If you fake it, you're going to go broke. If you fake it, you're going to lose. I really just want you to shift your mind. Maybe you're a person who has been on the journey of trying to learn Forex over the last couple of years, and you just can't seem to get it. The reason is because you're not mentally equipped, or you have not made a decision that this is what you want to do. You got one foot in, you got one foot out. This is not that type of thing. You have to be all in when it comes to trading. You have to be willing to commit hours to learning and mastering these charts and this skill. So let's hop in. That's enough of my TED Talk for tonight, but I am so excited for those that have joined my beta program and that are learning from and with me on this journey of becoming seven-figure traders eventually, and those that are respecting their journey and respecting their process. One thing that I always tell my students is that comparison is the thief to all success, and repetition is the mother of all learning. So You want to just get into the habit of the mundane. You want to master having a routine and getting up and doing the same things consecutively until you reach your goals. Most people, they are not able to commit to a routine. If something doesn't seem like it's moving fast enough, then they quit prematurely. 3 feet from goal, they've been digging and digging and digging, and then they decide, oh, I'm not digging no more. I'm tired of doing this. I'm about to go dig somewhere else. Little do they know they were right there at the peak of their breakthrough, and they just quit prematurely. So let's look at GBP USD and see what is going on. Now, the way that I trade, I'm considered to be a naked trader. I prefer to have clean charts. I like to have as little on my charts as possible. I'm not a person that is totally against indicators, but I do like to trade naked if I can. And that sounds crazy, but I like to actually not have any indicators or anything on my charts if possible. Now, I will use them for confluences or confirmations just to make sure that I'm on the right side of the market or that my bias is correct. However, for the most part, I just like to do what's called a top-down analysis and make my decisions on the trades that I'm going to take based on price action. And so the way that you do that is totally up to you. The way that you get your bias is totally up to you. I like to start on the monthly time frame just to see what the overall trend of the market is. And as we can see on GBP USD, which is the Great Britain pound against the US dollar, we've been in a downtrend for quite a while. So each one of these candles represents 1 month. And so for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, the British pound has been decreasing in value compared to the US dollar. And so I look at the monthly time frame. I do not mark up on my monthly chart, but I do use this as kind of giving me an idea of what I can expect to happen. Now, what I do like to look at is market structure. And so looking at this chart, and if you're new to Forex, this just looks like a bunch of foreign, it's a foreign language. And, I tell my students too, you have to think of learning Forex like learning French or learning Spanish. Is going to be totally foreign to you. It's the foreign exchange market, but you got to think of it as you learning a foreign language. And so you got to relinquish whatever you thought that you knew about stocks or currencies or whatever. And one thing I like to tell people as well is that once you master the charts, you can trade anything. You can trade stocks, you can trade commodities, you can trade gold, you can trade oil. It puts you in a position where you really can turn your phone into an ATM. I know that sounds cliche, and I know people use that term in order to try to recruit you into things, but in this industry, in this market, you really can turn your phone or your laptop into an ATM once you master the skill. I'm going to always say the skill is what pays the bills. I am not an advocate of people getting dependent on taking signals. In my mentorship, I do not offer signals. I offer you with trading psychology, mindset, and learning price action and market structure. And so here on the monthly time frame, we can see that we have what's called a double top right here. This is just basically meaning that when price came to this area, it rejected this area and it reversed. You always want to look for areas in the market where it tends to always reverse. That is called support and resistance, and also supply and demand zone. So if you were new, you could mark these areas. I personally would not mark these areas on my chart if I were doing my analysis for the week. However, it is good to know your zones when you are first starting out. So here I would put my areas here, and I plot my areas in places where price has struggled to break through on multiple occasions. So you'll see here, price came to this area, it rejected, it rejected, it rejected, it rejected. It also did that when it came back to this area here. So we know that since this is on a monthly time frame, and also since it is this double top here, that this is a key level of resistance. And what support and resistance is, you got to think of support and resistance as the ceiling and the floor. And so this is your ceiling, which is the resistance area, and support is the floor. So as it did here, it also rejected off of this point several times. So anytime the market comes to this area, I am going to be looking to see what it's going to do next. And so as a trader, you should never try to predict the market. You always want to react to the market. And what I mean by that is that somebody, before price got here, somebody would have looked at this and they would have said that, oh, every time price comes to this area, it reverses. And that had been true in the past. However, you'll see here that when it got here, that was not the case. So someone that was looking at the market here, and when it got close down to this support area, they said, oh, when it get down to 120655, I know that the market is going to reverse. So I'm going to put in a buy because I'm expecting that as soon as it gets here, it is going to go back up to the upside. And they would have been absolutely incorrect because price got to this place. It rejected a little bit, but the sellers were in control. There was a lot of selling pressure and a lot of selling momentum, and they were able to break through this support zone, which now invalidates this zone. And we are now making new lows, and we're just waiting to see what the market is going to do. Now, at this point, you're really done with the monthly chart because you've gotten your overall bias. You know that it's a bearish market. You'll hear, and there's certain lingo and certain terms that you're going to have to learn if you're brand new. When you hear people say that the bears are in control or it's a bearish market, that means that it's time to sell. When you hear people say that the market is bullish, then that means that you are looking to secure long positions or you're looking to buy. And so somebody that would have automatically tried to predict what the market was going to do at this area, they would have been incorrect, and they would have lost money if they would have gotten into a buy position because price did not move back to the upside as they would have anticipated. And so speaking of losing money, you always want to use a stop loss. You never, ever want to enter a position without determining your risk or the amount that you're willing to lose on that trade up front. You always want to have a stop loss established. Now, you don't have to have a take profit because you can let the position run as far as it's going to run and secure those profits on the way down. And one thing that my mentor teaches is that most people, when they are in a winning trade, they start to take profits off of the table. They start to liquidate their positions and secure some profits on the way down or on the way up, when in reality, you should be adding more positions. Instead of removing your positions, you should be maximizing and compounding those positions as much as you can of course, using proper risk management. And so now that we've established our bias on the weekly time frame, we can go down to the lower time frames just to see, get a clearer picture. Now, as you go down to the lower time frames, it is going to get a lot noisier because instead of each candle being a month worth of movement, as you go down, it's going to be a lot more candlesticks. So this is a weekly time frame. So it's just basically taking an inside look of what those monthly time frames look like. So I have a student, she's probably on here. She's a nurse, she's a traveling nurse, and I've been working one-on-one with her and helping her get an understanding of the market. And so I gave her an analogy of the market as thinking of the market as a body, and each time frame as you go down is like doing an X-ray or doing an EKG to find out what the issue or what the health is of a particular person by looking on the inside and getting a closer look at what's going on. So if you're a nurse, think of the charts as your EKG or your X-ray for you to be able to see on the inside of the market what's going on. So I like to plot my time frames, my support and resistance zones on the weekly time frame. And then I go down to the 4-hour to look at my positions that I'm possibly going to take, depending on if I'm scalping or if I am swing trading. So when I am swing trading, I'm really analyzing the 4-hour and the 30-minute charts. So here we can get a closer look at some support and resistance zones. And you want to think of, I did lines here just because that was on the monthly time frame. But when you are securing or identifying your support and resistance zones, you want to create them as just that, zones. They're not pinpointed as a specific price. They are pinpointed as a zone that price may go to. And so on here, you always want to look left to see areas in the past where price actually rejected and had a problem breaking through. And so we're looking for U-turns in the market. So the top-down analysis is just starting at the top of your chart and identifying areas where price struggled to break through. And so the first area that I would plot on this chart, we see here there was a lot of congestion in the market right here. So I would take my zone and I would just bring it over here. And you want to put your zone where you can get the most touches. So we'll see here that there was a lot of support right here, but also as we move over, there was also a lot of support and resistance right here. So the best zones or the more valid zones are those that actually they serve as support and resistance, which means that they've been the ceiling and the floor. That means that price has struggled to break through in that area multiple times. So this area would be my first support and resistance zone. The next area, and then you can just clone and create the next zone. And so I would just bring it down. The next area you'll see here would be right in here. We struggled to make a decision here, right here, right here, right here. Price struggled here and here as well. So that is what you're looking at. And you don't want to put too many on your charts. just because you don't want a whole lot of congestion on your chart. So here's another area. Price struggled to break through. And there's really no right or wrong way to mark up your charts. As long as you know what it means, and as long as you can identify profitable, high probability trades from your analysis, that's really all that matters, because this is for you. This is for you to do your analysis. And if this were me plotting my charts up on a Sunday, I would not have all of these zones, but I'm just showing you for the sake of this training. So at this point, I'm back to the zone that I've identified on my monthly time frame. And now we're just kind of hanging out way down here. So the last zone that I would probably plot would be right here, where we've had some wick rejections right here. So the overall bias is still bearish because price action hasn't given us any indication that buyers have regained momentum or have taken control of the market. So right here is where price currently is. This is a weekly candle, which means for the week, price has continuously been heading to the downside with no indication that it wants to retrace back to the upside. So my personal bias on this would still be bearish. Now, moving down to, we have our zones plotted. Our support and resistance zones have been established. We know that the overall bias is bearish. So on the daily chart, it just gives you, and you want to always drag your zones to the right. And you want to trade from zone to zone. So because price is down in this area, really all of these areas that I have up here are irrelevant, because I'm only focused on zone to zone. And so I don't have any structure to go on in the past, because you can see this is the lowest that price has been. I can go all the way back to 2008, and there has been no liquidity, or there has been no type of action in those areas in the past. So this is a new low. And so really we are just continuing bearish as our bias until price gives us some indication that it wants to reverse. And so on a daily candle, on a daily time frame, though, one thing that we want to keep an eye on is this is considered to be a doji candle. So these 2 days right here, this is the last 2 days. You can see this candle is substantially bigger than these 2 candles, which means that momentum is being lost. That means that the exhaustion is happening for the sellers. So this is an indication that we may be ready to move back to the upside. The strategy that I typically trade is the break and retest. So I don't just hop in a trade just because I see a reversal happening. I have to have several confluences that are going to confirm that we are truly in a trend reversal. And of course, I can't go over everything tonight, but I just want to give you guys an idea of, what to look for in the market. So this is a doji candle. If you are not familiar with the candlesticks and the candlestick patterns, You can get the Candlestick Trading Bible. I actually give a copy of that to my students to actually study and learn, because you want to know what those signals are and what those indicators are that let you know that certain things or certain conditions are happening in the market. So me seeing this doji candle on a daily time frame and not seeing much momentum on this candle lets me know that there's possibly about to be a change in direction. And I always say possibly because we never know what the market is going to do. There's nobody that can actually predict what the market is going to do. Even the market makers, they don't have full control over the market because market sentiment is really what moves the market. So you should really be thinking about what are other people thinking? What are other people doing? And that's how the banks and the institutions seem to actually kind of manipulate the market, because they're looking at these charts. They know that we are plotting these zones. And so they know that we expect price to do certain things at certain zones. So just like right here, where everybody thought that price was going to, actually right here, where everybody thought that price was going to reverse because of what it had did in the past, the institutions and the market makers could have looked at that area and said, yeah, they think that because it's rejected at this point in the past, that it's going to do that again. And they have their buy limits, their future orders set to go to the upside. And we're going to show them that they don't predict the market. We're going to show them that they do not know what the market is going to do. And so this could have been a lot of volume that was purposely put in to push the market down to a new low and to knock out all of those retail traders that were waiting for price to have a reaction to this zone. And so I've learned that the hard way over my years of trading. And so I never try to predict what the market is going to do. I always react and I always wait. And being patient is the hardest thing when it comes to trading. Trading is going to teach you discipline and it's going to teach you patience. If you don't have those two things, you're going to lose a lot of money. So discipline and patience is more important than any strategy, any indicator, any course that you buy that promises you the holy grail on how to master the charts, master your discipline, master your risk management, and you can be profitable. So now that we know that we are still in a downtrend, I like to still look at my 4-hour chart to make sure that the zones that I plotted on the higher time frames are valid. If not, I'll adjust those, but these look to be pretty good. So on the 4-hour chart, each one of these candles is 4 hours of momentum. And like I said, on the daily chart, we can see that the volume is substantially low over the last couple of hours. The last 12 hours or so, there hasn't been much movement in the market. These two doji candles here lets me know that the sellers are losing their momentum and that we are possibly going to be starting to move to the upside. So I would create me a little mini zone right here just to see if price is going to break below this area, because we have a selling candle right here that will possibly come here. We're looking for price to either create a new low to confirm a continuation to the downside, or we're looking for some bullish momentum candles to confirm a trend reversal. And I probably would not get into a buy trade until we have broken structure and gone above this area here. So I would not be entertaining any type of buy positions until these areas have been broken. So patience, like I said, is a virtue when it comes to trading. You have to be able to identify your zones, and you have to be willing to wait for price to break and retest to give you the confirmation that your bias is correct. So now we're looking at a trend inside of a trend. So we are moving down to the smaller time frames. And so that's the 4-hour chart. 1-hour chart is just going to give you more insight and more information for you to further investigate what you already know. So we'll see here on an hour chart, price hasn't been able to break this area. So this is a 1-hour support. And what I normally do is each time frame that I'm on, when I'm drawing these levels, I will use a different color. So this could be a different color just to let me know that this was on my 4-hour chart. I can do a different color here to let me know that this is on my 1-hour chart. And so your entry is going to be dependent upon what type of trader that you are. And so you need to determine what type of trader you are before you even decide to take your first trade. Are you going to be a scalper, which a scalper is a person that is in and out of the market, taking small profits throughout the day, entering several different trades throughout the day. A lot of newbies, they think that they want to be scalpers just because also when you are introduced to Forex through network marketing, they tell you that, oh, you can make money every day and just show up to the charts every day and 20 pips and dip and all of this. But in reality, when you become a real trader, when you become a person that wants to make a profession out of trading, you will quickly understand that every day is not going to present a profitable trade opportunity. You are showing up to the markets and you are looking for an opportunity. And if the opportunity does not present itself, it is okay to walk away from the charts and not enter any trades. And honestly, just being 100% transparent, I was not able to think like that. I was not able to have that type of discipline and psychology until this year. And this is year 5 for me. This will be the end of this year will be 5 years that I have been playing in the market, because for most of those years, I was not profitable. And so understanding that being a day trader does not mean that you trade every day. Being a day trader just means that you are typically liquidating your positions by the end of the day. You're not holding your trades long term. You're not swing trading. Swing trading is people that are holding their positions over several days or maybe even a week. And position traders are people that are holding their trades over a month or even years. So most people aren't position traders. But as you grow, as you begin to become more educated, I believe that people move from the scalper mentality to the swing trading mentality. Because why would you want to show up and just catch 20 pips in a day when you could identify a opportunity to catch a couple of hundred pips, but it requires your patience, it requires your discipline, it requires risk management for you to basically set it and forget it, for you to establish the amount that you're willing to lose, put those targets there, and let that trade run until it has exhausted itself, until you get an indication that your bias is no longer correct. But us as traders, when we first start, we want to hurry up and make some profit. We want to hurry up and make a screenshot so we can post it on the gram. Like, you have to shift your mind. You have to become somebody that is disciplined. And I know that I'm using that word excessively, but honestly, discipline was the thing that I lacked up until this year that was causing me to be unsuccessful as a trader. And most of the people that I do calls with, that join my program, they have that same issue. And so it's not so much that I'm teaching people how to trade, I'm teaching people how to think as a profitable trader. And after that, the trading really happens itself, because they can plot support and resistance. They can identify a trend. And in trading, that's all you're doing is following the trend. However, when you don't have the right mindset, or when you are greedy, or when you are trading out of desperation, you tend to make impulsive decisions that are not conducive to your profits. And so, like, that is going to be really the main thing that I focus on in this channel, is helping people shift their mind. And my market and the people that I personally want to help, which I'll help anybody that wants to invest in themselves, but I really want to help women become self-sufficient. I really want to help the introverted misfits understand that you don't have to be an influencer to be successful. You can be rich and be private. You can be very successful without being known. Like, this has been the most peaceful year of my life since I decided to fall back and just focus on trading. I have deleted Instagram. I have deleted Facebook. The only thing that I have is Twitter at this point. And I really only follow people on Twitter that are talking about the market sentiments, that are talking about what's going on Wall Street. I'm engulfing myself and surrounding myself virtually around people that are speaking about building wealth. I don't want to know what's going on the shade room. I don't care about what other people got going on in this season of my life. And you have to get to a point where you're willing to detach and protect your peace and fill yourself up with knowledge and information that is applicable to the goals that you have. Working more hours on your job, starting business after business that's unsuccessful because you don't have the marketing knowledge or the network or the authority to get people to buy what it is that you're selling, is not going to get you where you want to go. You have to engulf yourself into something that is promising, that is proven, that is available. Like, Forex is one of the most lucrative industries out there. It is the most liquid market in the world, yet people will say it's a scam. People will say that it doesn't work just because they're not willing to put in the necessary hours, the necessary work, that is required in order to master the skill. It is not for everybody. That is why 90% of the people that try to learn this, they fail. And it's not because the information is not available. It is because they're not willing to do the internal work that's required to become a $1 million or a 6-figure trader. They have the wrong expectation. They have the wrong desires, and they can't win. Like Lauryn Hill says, how you gonna win when you ain't right within? It is internal. And it took me a very, very long time to realize that. And so I paid some very expensive lessons because of that. But I don't regret it, because I know that I'm going to get all of that back plus some. And that's just the attitude that you have to have. People that are losing money in the Forex market, they're not losing. They're just paying some very expensive lessons. They are just, and a lot of times people just get depleted financially and mentally, and they just give up prematurely. But as much money as I lost in the beginning, giving up was not an option, because I was like, oh, hell no, I'm getting some of my money back, or if not all of it. And so you never want to revenge trade, but you want to let those losses or those lessons fuel you instead of deterring you or discouraging you. It is very important that you understand that you're going to take some losses. That is just a part of this industry. It's a 50% chance that you lose. It's a 50% chance that you are profitable. But the people that actually succeed and come out on the winning side of Forex aren't the people that don't take losses. They are the people that learn how to master their risk, that learn how to create a substantial amount of reward compared to the amount of risk that they actually take. So the risk to reward ratio is what you need to be mastering. The mindset and the psychology is what you need to be mastering, because even if your entries aren't 100%, or even if your strategy isn't 100%, if you master managing your risk, you'll live to trade another day. But if your mindset is jacked up, you are going to blow your account, and then you're starting back at ground zero, funding the account and entering back into the market with the same bad habits that blew your account in the first place. So you get on this roller coaster of emotions, you get on this hamster wheel of losing, and some people never get off of that until they have a rude awakening that it's not the market, it's not the strategy, it's them. And until you can take ownership of your success and your losses in Forex, it's not going to work out for you. And so once you've established your zones, then, like I said, it's really just a waiting game. And you have to know what pair you're going to master. I recommend trading one pair and mastering that pair and knowing how that pair moves and knowing what zones and what areas that pair typically reacts, and not jumping into pairs that your account size cannot sustain and maintain. I have a lot of people, they want to come in with $100 account. They see people trading indices and gold and things like that. Like, stay in your lane. If you know that you have an account that's less than $1,000, you need to just stick to the Forex pairs, the majors. You do not need to be trading exotics. You do not need to be trading indices. You definitely don't need to be on gold or US 30. Stay in your lane. Pick you 1 or 2 pairs and stick to those pairs until you're profitable. When you are profitable, then you can diversify your watch list and trade whatever it is that you want. Because once you know how to master the charts and view the charts, the possibilities are endless. You can trade any or everything, but you got to get some discipline in your trading plan. If you don't have a trading plan or you don't know what a trading plan is, then that's part of the issue too. You need to keep a trading journal. And I'll be totally transparent. I have not been a person that has been consistent with keeping a trading journal. But now that I'm serious about making trading my profession, I've started to track my trades. I've started to do back testing. I've started to go back and look at the trades that I've taken and why I won the trade or why I lost the trade, because both of those are important in perfecting your strategy. A lot of people are, they'll message me and they'll say, hey, I need a strategy. Well, the strategy comes from you putting in time in the charts and you learning your pair and you learning your edge on what actually feels good to you when you're in the market. You can't take somebody else's strategy and expect that just because they're profitable with it, that you're going to be able to hop in and be profitable with it too, because strategies are relative. Strategies are based on numerous things. It depends on the pair that you're trading. It depends on the time frame you're trading. It depends on the time frame that you're trading on. So just adopting somebody else's strategy and expecting it to make you a millionaire is not going to be conducive to your growth. But putting in that chart time, studying those charts, I watch these charts like it's Netflix. I literally sit up and watch the charts and how they're moving and where they're reacting to, so that I can ingrain this into me. I want to be able to look at the charts and make my own decisions. I don't want to have to depend on nobody else for their signals. I don't want to have to wait on somebody to call a trade in order for me to be profitable. I don't want that. I used to do all of the copy, paste, and paid things that people promise, these apps that are going to tell you when to get in a trade and when to get out of a trade and when to take profit. Like, who wants to depend on somebody else? That's just like having a job. I want to be the signal. I do not want to be waiting on one. And I don't offer signals because I want to truly impact people in a way that they can know how to trade so well that they can pass this on. I want to create legacies. I want to break generational curses, especially in the Black community. I'm working on a project where I want to be able to help felons transition back into society by learning this skill. I'm a person that used to sell drugs, so I know how easy it is to be tempted to go back to that lifestyle because of the money and the lifestyle that type of activity can yield. And so I want to help my people be able to actually not have to go back to things that's going to put them in a position to take penitentiary chances again. I want to help people be confident to know that they can provide for their family without having to accept a job that they hate or do something that really is unfulfilling to them. I made a decision a long time ago that I'm not going to do anything just for the money. If it interrupts my peace, I don't want it. And trading has made me be able to stand on that and to turn down money and to turn down contracts of things that just weren't, it just didn't sit right well with my energy. And so that is my goal. And one thing that I love about mastering trading is it gives you this sense of confidence to know that you don't need nobody for shit. I remember I used to wait on people to pay their invoices and wait on people to join me in business. They say, oh, I'm gonna get started on Friday when I get paid. But then when I follow up, they are ignoring my calls or leaving me on red. Gone of the days of that. I don't need nobody for shit. All I need is some capital in my account and trading view to view these charts and an internet connection. That's it. And so I want you to be able to experience that same time freedom, but it's going to require you to do some sacrificing. It's going to require that you have to, maybe you got to get up a couple of hours before you go to work, or maybe you got to stay up a little later after you get off of work to master this skill, to study, to read, to back test. One thing I love about this space that I'm in is that whether my students show up or not for themselves, I'm still going to get paid. I'm still going to get up every day and look for opportunities in the market. Yeah, it's frustrating to have people that, you know, they beg you to help them, they beg for mentorship, and then when you create a space for them, they don't show up. Or you give them homework and they don't do it. Or you create courses and they don't consume the information. But I'm learning that that's not my problem. That's a them problem. It has absolutely nothing to do with me, because I'm providing the service that I said that I would provide. And whether they show up or not, it's their journey. And I can't rush it. Just like it took me 5 years to decide to make this a priority, hopefully it doesn't take them 5 years. Hopefully I can help them collapse timeframes and get a hold of their psychology sooner than I was able to. And that's the whole purpose of my mentorship, is to really help people not have to take as long as it did for me to get to this point. And so I know tonight was a little different, but I am just acclimating myself to really show up with a sense of authority, but at the same time, a sense of humility to let people know that I don't know everything when it comes to trading. I've been successful in other spaces, but like I said earlier, that success is not transferable. My success in network marketing, my success as a business coach, my success in other things does not automatically make me successful as a trader. So trading is just it's really just personal development with profits attached. The people that grow themselves, the people that lose their ego, the people that are willing to be vulnerable and show up and ask questions and say, hey, I don't understand. Those are the people that win in Forex. The people that are willing to not be a know-it-all. And that's the issue that a lot of people have. And what I realized as a coach, on several occasions, I've done group coaching programs, mainly for women. And one thing I realized, us as Black women, we are the worst when it comes to being vulnerable and being transparent about what we don't know. I literally have a community, and right now it's in beta, but I have about 25 to 30 people in that community. And most times I show up every day, because this is this is my journey. So regardless of what the next person does, I'm not going to let that deter or determine how I show up. But at times it's frustrating to know that I'm giving 100% and I'm posting content, I'm posting chart analysis, I'm giving feedback, I'm giving literally everything that I have because this is what I'm doing. And anything that I do, I don't half-ass it. How you do anything is how you do everything. So I always make sure that I underpromise and over-deliver when it comes to any business that I do. And Forex and mentorship in this space is no exception to that. But building a community, especially with it being predominantly women and predominantly Black women, is absolutely challenging because, for one, they want to be private. Sometimes they want to learn from you, but they don't want people to know that they're learning from you. That's an issue. And that's something that us as Black women, if you are a Black woman, if you are in a community, if you sign up for mentorship, be present, be vocal. Let people know what you don't know. Because you being transparent and sharing what you don't know, it's not only for you, it's for the other people that are there that may have those same questions. And I did not realize that this was really an issue until I paid $5,000 to join a mentorship program that it had absolutely nothing to do with Forex, but getting into that community, which was predominantly white people, it's a totally different vibe and environment. They are so helpful. They are so transparent. They are just getting, and I don't know if it's because of the price point. I try to keep my stuff affordable, especially because this is a new territory for me. But in that mastermind that I'm in, it's just a totally different vibe. People show up on the calls with questions, with feedback, with suggestions, but not just in my Forex community, but in communities that I've built in the past. I noticed that Black women, they are very reserved, they are very quiet when it comes to being vulnerable in a space that is unfamiliar or learning something that they don't know. They want to show up on social media as if they have it all together. But when it comes to a learning environment or a place where they are not familiar, or they are not, just knowledgeable, they sit back on their hands and they don't, just really add to the space. And I think that we really, really have to do better at that, because I've seen groups where the environment is strictly based on tearing people down and bashing people. And those communities are the most active when it comes to our community. Those type of environments get hundreds of likes, hundreds of comments, hundreds of people engaged. But on the flip side of that, when it's a community to better us and to add value so that we can change the trajectory of our futures and our legacies, the vibe is totally different. And I just had to get that off my chest. I just feel like it's important that us as Black women, that we do better to uplift and inspire and add value to the spaces and the rooms that we are in. Even if it's not our niche, even if it's not what we are good at, be okay with saying, hey, I'm a boss when it comes to real estate, but this Forex stuff is new to me and I need help and I don't understand what this means. Or can you explain what that means? because privately I get tons and tons of questions, tons and tons of emails. But when it comes to publicly showing what we don't understand or areas that we feel less confident, people are very private with that. And I feel like that is a hindrance for us. I feel like we have to be willing to be vulnerable and say, I don't understand. I don't know. Can you help me? Because I don't know what other people do in their mentorship programs, but I'm very accessible. Like probably too accessible for the price point, actually. So, you know, I know that a lot of people have been burned when it comes to Forex, and they've gotten a false perception of what this industry is. But I truly, truly want people to give it another shot if you've tried it. Connect yourself with different people, not network marketing, and just really become a student. And my quote is, like 50 Cent used to say, get rich or die trying. My quote is, get rich or die trading. That is what I'm going to do. Because out of everything that I've ever tried, nothing has been more fulfilling and peaceful simultaneously. Nothing provides peace and profits like Forex once you master the skill. And so if you are somebody who has been struggling with learning the skill, a woman in particularly, an introvert, you can definitely go to laquanyashante.com, get more information about the services that I offer. If you are in my community already, I appreciate you being on this journey with me. I know I kind of got off track and really went on a tangent, but I just felt like since I'm going to be showing up on YouTube more often, I really just wanted to speak from my heart tonight, because I felt like it's not all about the charts. It's not all about support and resistance. It's not about indicators or any of that. It's about you making a decision that you're going to do something that you've never done in order to have something that you've never had. And as we can see, while I've been talking, price is breaking below this structure. We can see that some bearish momentum is actually happening. And so we can probably assume that price is going to come down to this key area here. Right here, you can see that. And this is on the 1 hour chart. If we go down to the 30-minute, this would consider to be a break of structure. So that would be and I'm not a financial advisor. I just want to give that disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. Any trades that you take are they're your own responsibility. So always make your own determination on the trades that you want to take. Do not just hop on somebody's live and just enter trades based on what they're telling you, because you don't know how profitable they are or if they're even profitable at all. And so when you are risking your capital, make sure you're risking it based on your own analysis and your own bias, and not just hopping in the trade hoping that what somebody else told you was right. Because at that point, it's gambling. If you're not making an informed decision based on analysis, you're gambling. And trading is not gambling unless you're doing it blindly without knowing what the hell you're doing. But it's all about market structure and price action. As you can see, I didn't put any indicators on my chart. I did not talk about Bollinger Bands or stochastics or any of that, because I am focused on mastering the naked charts. So 3 book recommendations that I will give you is Candlestick Bible, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, and Naked Forex. Those are 3 books that I recommend to my students. If you are a person like me with ADHD and you cannot sit and read a book, I recommend either looking those books up on YouTube and listening to them on audio, or you can get an Audible account, which is what I have, and you can listen to those books as you multitask while you're driving or while you are just doing your day-to-day, working out, going for a walk or whatever. Because honestly, and sometimes I put my books on at night when I'm getting ready to go to bed, or during London session, because I like to trade at night. Well, I like London session and New York, depending on what I'm trading. But I am a night owl and an early bird, so I'm typically up during both of those sessions. But I will put on some audio books while I'm trading to kind of condition my mind, because our subconscious mind is always at work. We're always attracting and repelling unconsciously. So it's important to really protect your ear gate when you're trading. So I know that we are over our hour that I initially like to be on. And I typically do my sessions on Zoom privately with my tribe, but I did want to make my presence known on YouTube and really just speak from my heart tonight and let people know who I am and what my goals and what my mission is. And if that is in alignment with your goals and your mission, I would love to connect with you. You can find my contact information somewhere on my channel or below this video. And yeah, I will be back. I am going to start a series where I am sharing more smaller snippets of price action and different things. But I would love for you to comment below any questions that you have so that I can make videos in regards to those specific questions. And then you can like or subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified when I upload a new video. This whole YouTube thing is not new to me. I used to have a channel back in the day when I was a marketer, but I have since deleted all of those videos off of my channel and I've converted it to be all about Forex. So yeah, it may look like I'm a new YouTuber, but I'm actually not. I'm just pivoting and transitioning into a new space. So essentially I am new because this is totally different than just uploading a video on how to get leads or how to create a funnel or something like that. So with that being said, never ever be afraid to draw a line in the sand and start over from scratch and get into something that is different from what you're used to and what you are known for. It has been a challenge for me to say, hey, I'm not accepting any new marketing clients. I'm only doing this now and letting thousands of dollars, be missed. But I think that I am definitely in a space where it is more conducive for my mental health. And I absolutely love what I'm doing now and who I'm doing it with. So I would love to help those that are struggling to find their edge and find their way into investing and into Forex. Because like I said, once you learn these charts, you can absolutely you can trade anything. And we see, let's see, are we gonna get a retest? So we broke here. It's 9:30, so a new candle just started. This is a 30-minute candle. And some people, like, I really don't like going past the 30-minute candle, the 30-minute chart, but some people, they like the 5-minute chart. And it's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I will go down to the 5-minute chart just to kind of see what's going on. So as you can see here on the 5-minute chart, we got some rejection, and we have a doji, which is a signal that the momentum is being lost. So when you go down to a 5-minute time frame, it will allow you to get some more sniper entries where you can get in at the first sign of a trend reversal. However, sometimes if you are trading against the trend, that can be a false breakout, and you can get tricked because that momentum may just be temporary. So right here, we had a doji candle, which is a sign of a possible reversal. And then the next candle that printed here was a bullish candle, or it's starting to be a bullish candle. What I would probably do in this instance is set an alert right here. And when price breaks above this, because remember, this is a zone that was marked up on a higher time frame. So when price breaks above this area on the 5-minute chart, I can get in for a buy position, and I can set my stop loss somewhere down here below this last low. That'll be a very tight stop loss, but I would prefer a tight stop loss than a very large stop loss, because remember, it's all about your risk to reward ratio. So this is an area that we want to pay attention to. So you see how that candle was pink, which is my bullish candle, but this candle is still a bearish candle. So we haven't really gotten any confirmation that price truly wants to continue to the upside, or that the downtrend is fully exhausted and is over. So it's all about patience. It's all about waiting until you have those confluences and you have those confirmations that the market is going into your direction. The trend is absolutely your friend. And so we'll see if price is going to break below this 5-minute area. Let's make this a different color. Or if it's going to continue to the upside. So that is it for tonight, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you that decided to jump in tonight. Those of you that are on Zoom. I know I didn't even really look at the chat much tonight. Or if you're watching this on the replay, put replay in the comments so I'll know that you did consume this information on the replay. And let me know if you found value. And let me know how you were introduced to Forex. Was it through network marketing? Or what has been your experience so far? I would love to know how you were introduced and what your experience has been so far. And if you are demo trading, take a look at the GBP USD chart to see how this trade actually plays out. See if once we break to the 1.12500 zone, which is right here, where I have my alert set. Once we break above that zone, see if we continue to the upside. As you can see, a new candle has formed at this 5-minute support area. And so I'm just going to be waiting to see what this does as we head into London session tonight to see if we're going to be bullish or bearish tonight. And I will come back and see how this trade plays out. So go ahead, put it in on your demo account. See how it plays out. One thing about demo is that you can't lose anything. So don't be afraid to, if you've had a losing streak, to go back to demo and put in some trades while you're working on your psychology and while you are mastering the skill. So again, I am LaQuanya Shante, and I help introverts create income without having to be an influencer. So if that is you, like, comment, and subscribe, because I'll be creating more content on this channel to help those that are ready to learn and master the skill of Forex without having to show up on social media every single day. So y'all have a good night. And until next time, peace and profits.